What if I told you there's a kind of superpower that you can unlock, not by doing more, but by intentionally doing less? A power that comes not from speaking up, but from choosing silence. Let's dive into this incredible idea together. We live in a world that is constantly screaming for our attention, right? Every notification, every headline, every comment, it's all begging for a reaction. But this question, it flips the whole script. It suggests that real power, true control, isn't in the reply. It's in the conscious, deliberate choice to not engage at all.
Now, right off the bat, let's be super clear about something. We are not talking about giving someone the cold shoulder. That's cold indifference, It comes from a place of ego, of looking down on someone. No, what we're exploring here is what we can call wise ignoring. This is a spiritual practice, one rooted in deep wisdom and compassion. It's all about protecting your own inner peace.
So here's the roadmap for our journey today. We're going to start with the raw power of just not reacting. Then we'll get into the beautiful art of equanimity. After that, we'll break down the why, the unshakable mind principle. Then comes the fun part, 5 practical tools for your toolkit. And we'll wrap it all up by seeing how this leads to becoming the master of your own inner world.
Okay, first stop. Let's really get into this core idea. That real freedom, genuine strength, doesn't come from winning the argument. It comes from realizing that most arguments just aren't worth your time or your energy.
Just think about that for a second. The person who feels that obsessive need to reply to every comment, to correct every mistake, to defend their ego at every turn, they're basically a puppet, right? Their strings are being pulled by everyone else. But the person who can see it and just let it go, that person is the emperor of their own mind, totally unshaken by the noise outside.
So you might be asking, okay, that sounds great, but how do you actually do it? Well, the secret lies in a really powerful concept from Buddhist philosophy, a state of mind taught by the Buddha himself. It's called upekkha.
Upekkha basically translates to equanimity. It's this incredible state of inner balance. It's not about being cold or emotionless, not at all. It's about having a mind that's so centered, so grounded, that it doesn't get tossed around by the waves of praise or blame, success or failure. It's the stillness that lets you watch the world's drama without getting sucked into the cast.
This is captured perfectly in a famous story about the Buddha. Some guy comes up and just starts yelling insults at him. And the Buddha, completely calm, just waits for him to finish and then asks this simple question. The man was totally floored. He realized that his insults, like a gift that wasn't accepted, still belonged to him. The Buddha's non-reaction made the attack completely useless.
And this verse from the Dhammapada, it just nails the feeling, doesn't it? The goal is to become like that solid rock. Not hard, not unfeeling, but so deeply rooted in who you are that the winds of other people's opinions, good or bad, just blow right past you. You remain undisturbed.
Okay, so we get the what, but what about the why? Like what's actually going on inside our heads that makes this work? Well, ancient wisdom gives us this really beautiful metaphor to explain how our inner world literally creates our reality.
I want you to picture your mind as a perfectly still lake. No ripples, no waves. Just a calm, glass-like surface. When your mind is in this state, it reflects the world with perfect clarity. You see things exactly as they are.
Now, all that stuff that gets thrown at us every day, the criticism, the annoying email, the frustrating news, think of all of that as just stones being tossed into your lake. They're external. They're separate from the water.
And here's the most important part. It's not the stone that messes up your view. It's the ripples. It's your reaction. When you lash out, when you get defensive, you are the one churning up the water. And once the water is murky, you can't see anything clearly anymore. Your own reaction is what distorts your reality.
This unshakable mind is really built on 3 huge ideas. First, anicca. It's the simple truth that everything changes. That insult, it's temporary. That praise, also temporary. Second, karma. The basic idea that lashing out in anger just plants seeds for more anger in the future. And third, seeing the ego as an illusion. Realizing that this self you're trying so hard to defend isn't as solid as you think it is.
Okay, so we've covered the philosophy. But that's the easy part. How do we actually put this into practice in our messy, everyday lives? Let's get into the toolkit. This is how you train yourself to stop throwing those stones into your own lake.
We're going to walk through 5 powerful practices. We'll start by making silence a choice, then learn to be a fierce guardian of your own energy.
After that, we'll see how to use triggers as a mirror for self-discovery, build up our inner strength, and finally, project the peace we've worked so hard to create.
Practice number 1. It sounds so simple, but it's a game changer. The next time you feel that flash of anger or defensiveness, just stop. Don't do anything. Take one single deep breath. That little gap you just created, that space between the trigger and your old reaction, that's where your freedom is. Silence stops being an absence of noise and becomes an act of power.
Second, start thinking about your attention and your emotional energy like you think about money. It's a finite resource. It's valuable. So before you spend it on some pointless online argument or worrying about what someone thinks of you, ask yourself, is this really worth my investment? You wouldn't let just anyone take money from your bank account, right? Stop letting them drain your energy account.
Now this third one, it can change everything. When someone really gets under your skin, instead of focusing on them, turn it around and use it as a mirror. Ask yourself, what part of me is so upset right now? A lot of the time, their words only hurt because they're poking at an old wound that's already there. Their negativity actually becomes a gift, a signpost pointing to something inside you that needs healing. Number 4 is all about building your inner foundation. You gotta have a strong core, a spiritual axis. That way, when the winds of life start blowing, they can't knock you over. What does this look like? It could be 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, a walk in the park, journaling, anything that connects you to that deep, quiet, solid place inside yourself. Do it every day.
And finally, practice number 5. You have to protect the peace you're building. Think of your inner calm as a beautiful garden or a sanctuary. Every single time you choose not to react, you're building a stronger fence around it. You're making a powerful, silent declaration to the world. My peace is more valuable than your chaos.
You see, when you start to really live these practices, something incredible happens. You stop being a ship tossed around on the stormy seas of life, and you become the captain. You become the sovereign ruler of your own inner world, and that is true freedom.
If you take only one thing away from our time together, let it be this. Your peace is more valuable than their drama. It's more valuable than being right. It's more valuable than getting the last word. Your inner peace is your most precious asset. Protect it.
So, I'll leave you with this question to take with you. This isn't just a cool idea to think about, it's a skill to practice. So what is one thing, just one, a person, a situation, a social media feed, that you will make the conscious choice to wisely ignore starting today to protect your own sanctuary?